Hey, chickadees, I'm Lay Rooster. You're in the hen house. And today we had the patch 34 dropping for Star Trek Fleet Command, and it came with some new additions. I'll have some review on the arc itself in just a little bit when I do a YouTube live stream. But one of the things, as you can see behind me, already had an away team's mission when this first came out with the beginning part of the Next Generation arc. But now they made some significant changes and expansions, if you will, and so it's important that we update this sucker right here and now. And so I've been away at work, but I've been reading the notes and kind of exploring to find out what changes, how they play out, and been messing around with it off and on since the patch notes came out this morning before I had to go to work and everything. So I want to go through some of that, go through the notes with you, and show you some of these pieces, because I know in talking with people on my alliance that there was some confusion, and I want to help clear some of that up and help us get set on the right path. So it is time to make it so. All right, let's flip over here. So we have, if you read the patch notes, which I encourage you to do, especially if you want to reference that. Also, they link to the away team's rules. Now, these rules are, they look like the old rules at least, but if you dig around, there's actually a lot more information in there. And so I wanted to go through that. And they actually have some updates for the date and everything. So we do want to look at this. By Star Trek, here we go. Let me put this where you can see it. By Star Trek, 7 September 2021. So that's today. All right. So they have updated this. So it is worth your time. Although some of this stuff is repeated, I'll link to my old away teams video as well, because that will cover some of the basics of getting started with away teams, getting the missions launched, making the building go, all that stuff, which you may find helpful. But I'm going to go with the assumption that you're already at least familiar with that. And then you can watch the other video if you need. And so as we get into that, make sure you like this video and give it a thumbs up. Also consider giving us a comment and let us know how things are going. If you like, subscribe, and give a comment, it's like the trifecta for beating the YouTube algorithm. We're making a push to get more and more subscribers and to really promote this YouTube channel. So everything you can do like that, watching, viewing, liking, commenting, all that helps. And I'll respond to all comments unless you're a troll. You know who you are. All right, let's look down there. And so scrolling down. There is, some of this, so we're going to be skimming parts of this because, of course, you don't need the same stuff, but through the shuttles. Here we see, as of September 7th, 2021, assignments will also respawn automatically once you complete an assignment. This is great. No worrying about whether or not you need to do the refresh or what you want to do. Honestly, you can look at when your refresh is happening, and you might want to, sometimes I found myself speeding something up to finish it so I can see what the thing is before. And if I don't like it and it's right before a refresh, I can just let it refresh automatically. But now that you complete one, you'll get a new one that you can look at. No guarantee you're going to like it or have the officers that you want to send on it, especially now that things are getting a little more complicated. But it also lets you know, just gives you a greater chance to see some stuff. So we'll look. I've got a whole bunch of away missions running on my account. So we'll look at that too, because I can show you some of these things in action if you haven't already had a chance to do that. So now we're going to, of course, you use the resources in your away team's research tree. And then officers have traits associated with them that can be used on away teams assignments to boost chance of crit. I don't know if you noticed this when you were trying to do them before. I was always trying to try a few different mixes of officers with like the health or attack or defense. And a lot of times the crit wouldn't go up. Sometimes I get the crit to move a little bit, but sometimes it also seemed like it wouldn't matter. So I would just go down and pick a crappier officer to round out the party, since we were going to meet it if I couldn't raise the crit with like one of my better officers on the pack. Let me know in the comments below what you're thinking and how you've been playing with that. Now it seems like those are tied a lot more. Now we have these officer traits, which we're going to have a lot of time to sync and grind and possibly buy packs and things in order to unlock and level up certain traits. And we'll have to be a little strategic because there's a whole lot of stuff that you can do, and not very much. I've unlocked one trait so far today, and it doesn't happen to be the one that was needed, yet. So there's a lot to it, but let's look at that. So again, it is auto refreshing once you complete is a big deal and a positive welcome change. Thank you, Scopely. And then these officer traits that ties directly to chance of crit. So it's very possible to have a loadout that is going to complete something, but is like not going to give you really much of any crit chance. Which in some ways is kind of what I was seeing before. I mean, I could sometimes get up to 20% crit chance, which was great if I could do it, but a lot of times it'd be 10 or nothing much. So as we unlock these, I think we'll get more crit, and you'll be able to focus, particularly when we see some of the ones. I want to show you some of the things I've got going on where the crit really seems to pay off. So this is all, these key terms are all from before and make the same. Again, how to unlock, you already know this stuff. So Shuttle Bay, I sure hope you have your Shuttle Bay. If not, let me know, or come join the link in Discord and we'll help you out. Assignments list, again, you're familiar with this stuff. This looks like the normal things. And it just talks about that. So we're skimming through this stuff. Starting assignments. This screen is not helpful just because it's the old screen, so it doesn't have the pictures, but down below we'll get some better stuff. All right. And again, the resources are the same at this point, and then the speed ups are the same. These seem to be growing on me, the speed ups, being able to use them, especially now that I'm talking about finishing something before I refresh. Just a little sip of the after work coffee there to keep me going. Now, here we go. Traits on officers. See, you would have lulled into thinking there was no new stuff, but there's a whole new section in general here. Players can now boost the chance of getting the critical reward by using officers with the critical traits on away team assignments. Officers have the following number of traits associated with them based on their characteristics. So your common officers don't have traits and are not going to have traits, so don't worry about them. Those are your grays, right? Now, your uncommons, which are your green officers, are going to have one trait that can be leveled up. The rare officers are your blue. They can have 2 traits that can be leveled up. And your epic officers, that's your purples. All right, just kind of following the MMORPG kind of color system of quality and grade. Those have 3 traits. So your Kirk, your regular Kirk, and your Jean-Luc Picard and all that, they're going to have the 3 traits, okay? So that they can be leveled up. And it's going to take a bit, so let's look at it. Traits can be unlocked and progressed using trait XP, which is earned through daily goals, assignments, and bundles. All right, so you'll get it when you do your away team assignments, at least some of the time. You'll get it from daily goals, and of course, you'll get it in some bundles and be able to buy it in bundles. Traits are progressed linearly, meaning that Tier 1 traits, which is the first trait an officer can unlock, must be unlocked and maxed out before a Tier 2 trait can be unlocked on an officer. This will make more sense when we look at it, but just think about the Tier 1 trait is going to be the trait that the uncommon officer has, and everyone above it, the rare and the epic, are going to have that too, but they're going to add to it. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3. All right, so we'll see. The Tier 1 traits can level up to level 3 to be better at that trait. The Tier 2 ones can level up, max out at level 4. And the Tier 3 traits can max out at level 9. So, 9, it's going to take you a while to get those up there. It looks like it's going to take a little while on some of the stuff. Just unlocking them on a lot of the officers that I already use is probably going to take me a while as it is. So here we can see Jean-Luc Picard, who is an epic, so he's purple. And he's got 3. It says Captain, with level 3 being max, Genius level 4 being maxed, and Archaeologist level 9 being maxed. So those are just showing that you can go, those are the max levels you can go, but these are the 3 traits, the Captain, Genius, and Archaeologist that he has in this piece. So, and you start with level 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 through 9, right? So that's part of it. And notice on here on the card of the officer, you've got the 3 different buttons or tabs now that you can look at. So that'll be helpful. It's this one that reminds me a little bit of a USB connection. And the insignia is the traits tab. So you look over. If you've been missing it, click on this and check out. Now, traits on assignments. Players now have a way of getting the most out of away teams by ensuring that officers with the appropriate traits for the assignment are sent off with their crew. Any officer can be added to any assignment. However, those that have the matching critical traits can boost the chance of crit, and those that don't can't. Right? So that makes it a little clearer about when you're trying to raise that crit and you're not getting there. All right. All assignments from level 15 plus can have between 1 to 4 traits associated with them. So 1 to 4, and you'll see. Each assignment has a max chance of crit, which varies anywhere from 30% to 100%, depending on the assignment. All officer place cards will show a 2x2 grid on the top right corner. The dots correspond to the 2x2 section of the critical traits. You've probably seen that, even if you're not familiar with what it means. We're going to look at it in greater detail in the game and in here. If a dot in the 2x2 grid is blue, it is indicating that the officer has the appropriate unlock trait for the assignment, meaning you already spent to unlock this. So you should know that you've got it because you will have spent your precious resources, at least in the beginning. If a dot in the 2x2 grid is white, it is indicating that the officer has the appropriate lock trait for the assignments. That is, players will only avail of the benefits of adding this officer if they first unlock that trait. Right. So when you see the white dot, that means that this card has the trait, but you haven't unlocked it. So if you're at a point where you're like, oh, I've got stuff to unlock, and and you happen to be about to do an away team mission that you're excited about doing, and you really want to nail the crit, that's a good one that you might want to consider unlocking right then before you do it. So that's probably going to help guide a lot of what I do, and I think of what a lot of people do in the beginning is, with cards and officers that we already use regularly for these events, and finding out which ones we can upgrade that'll then help us with the crit chance. Let me know down below so far what you've seen. The trait and the level of the trait are taken into account when calculating the chance of crit. So the higher the level you do, and is going to help on that. So a level 1 trait versus level 3 or level 9 trait should yield better fruit as it goes up. Officer traits do not stack. This is important for us to kind of be aware of because we're probably going to waste some time on this. Officer traits do not stack. If a player adds an officer with Relentless level 3 and an officer with Relentless level 6, the chance of crit will only be calculated based on the highest level trait. So be aware of that. You're not going to get a Relentless level 9 out of that. You're going to just get the higher one, which may mean you choose a different officer for that secondary one, or you may not care because it may not matter. So we'll look at that. When we look at the picture here where they have Jayla in here, this shows the 2x2 grid, and notice that it's got, it's basically 4 pip spots, and the two on the left, one above the other, are blue, meaning these are unlocked. She has 2 of these. She has the Relentless and the Ruthless, which are kind of highlighted here, and then the Dedicated and Chancellor traits. So this event has up to 4 traits that could apply. She has 2 of them, and they're unlocked. That's what that blue means. As we look down here, we see other people with different ones, like Gorkon down here has the 2 bottom ones that are in blue. That would correspond to this Ruthless one here and the Chancellor one. All right, but the white one, which is Relentless, he has available but is not unlocked. That's what that's meaning. I haven't seen a lot. I have 1 unlocked, so it hasn't been blue on the things that I've had, but it just kind of showing you, you should be seeing these pips already showing up for your characters. But that's what is going on. And also something that is a little harder to see because of the way it's reworked with the GUI. Here is the key stat of attack is still here. So the attack, the health, and defense that used to be what we focused on is still here. For a little bit, it looked like it wasn't, depending on quick glances. So it is here, but often it is kind of small. In fact, this looks a little bigger than what I remember seeing on the screen. We'll look at that when we get on to BlueStacks and check that out. Additional assignment slots. There are 3 new research nodes at levels 15, 25, and 39, which unlock a new assignment slot. These slots have new assignments designed to make use of specific traits. They unlock the new slots that are definitely going to take the use. And you'll have this away team atmospheric stabilizer is very quick to do. And then the away team air filtration one, you'll come. And then there's another one for 39. I don't have my ops is like 34, so I'm not there yet, but this got me going on those, and we'll see. There's the rainbow kind of spectrum color or prismatic colors on these, and that also is how they kind of highlight on the mission screen. These new slots can only be populated by traits-specific assignments, which offer greater chances of earning away teams credits, which can be spent in the away teams store. Away team store. Not out. That's a big deal, and honestly, a big new thing for us with this away team. And I think it's a good thing. We'll find out. But so you can see here, like the address the High Council. This one has that prismatic rainbow color, and it rewards the little away teams like model, and that's your credits for using in the away team store. So when I see these, I'm going for them. Here again is another one. The Form Trade Agreement has the model in there, and it's got the rainbow colors. These are ones that you're going to want to get if you want to access that store. Well, look at the store. There's some good stuff in there, stuff that people may help people out. So, kudos, Scopely. I know we don't want more currency, but I do want to be able to get things that are hard to get. And it looks like they're starting to do that, including the big ships like the Enterprise, which is one that, people were just lamenting, oh, you can't grind that? Can't you farm that? Well, no, but this is a new way that you can get Enterprise blueprints. So that's a good thing. All right. The away team store. I was getting ahead of myself here. Away teams credits that can be earned via away teams assignments can now be used to attain faction ship blueprints and reputation in the store tab. So some decent stuff here. Notice Enterprise, Intrepid, Antares, Saladin, etc. But Enterprise, also the Augur, also the D4 are all in here. So to me, that's great. As someone who's getting ready to start unlocking those ships, I'm thrilled to have another way to get those blueprints through the away teams. Now, the new resources, again, this is right. So you got the Shuttle Bay particles that look like this, used to research the away team atmospheric stabilizer, which unlocks the new slots. So when you get one of these, then you do the first research, and then it moves forward. We got it in the gift box, so you should have this. Now, they look like 3 connected square bongos to me. That's what they look like. The trait XP. All right. Right? Resource spent on unlocking and progressing traits on officers. So they're rewarded from packs, events, daily goals, and assignments. I've already gotten some of these. That's how you're going to unlock until you do some events and get these awarded to you. That's not, let me just turn off one of these notification things that's going on in the background there so that you don't hear it and it's not bugging you. So think square bongos equals leveling up your beatnik officers, all right, over there. So that's part of how you're going to unlock those traits and start building that up. So be on the lookout for those. Then the little model of the shuttle, like I'm calling it, let me scroll it up here so you can see it above my head. The away team's credits resource spent on bundles in the away team store can be rewarded from away team assignments. So you can get them there, and again, that's good. These away teams are starting to take on more and more important roles. Now, down here in the FAQ, I found this was a little confusing because it's like, well, I get a new assignment when I unlock a new slot. Yes. I don't think they updated this because now, like we said at the top, and I'm going to scroll right back up to the top where they talk about it. As of now, assignments will also respawn automatically once you complete an assignment. I've tested this several times today. This does work. You do get one immediately upon completing another one. So be aware of that. That is in itself something that's good and helps you kind of play around with these and manipulate them a little better. All right, now, and this is just on the patch notes, which I'll be going over on a YouTube live stream in just a little bit live. Check us out. If you hit that notification bell, you'll know when I'm live on YouTube, which I'm doing that once or twice a week on YouTube, as well as doing the things on Twitch, which will be in the description as well. And another important thing that isn't mentioned on the other away team side is you can now assign the officers who are assigned to a docked station ship to an assignment from the assignment screen. Hallelujah, this is a good thing. All right, so now when you see them, instead of having to go back to the ship, take them off, come on back, then do the research, you can just pull them off the ship like you do anyone else. As long as I suspect the ship can't be damaged, because that's how you can't move one who's on a damaged ship, but you can easily move them from a ship if they're ready to move around, which is a good thing. So I'm glad they're working on that. So that is a big piece of the away teams. Let's just go into the game. There, want some feedback. I want your feedback. Let me know down below in the comments what you're thinking, how things have been going, and let's clear some of this stuff up. Give us some space. I'm going to hit my Alliance Help button because I'm a good Alliance member, and that's what you should do. All right, now as we look over here, go to our away teams just to get some more stuff. You can see I've actually got all of mine active right now, which is probably the first time I've needed to do that. But look here, like the lead expedition and form trade agreement are both in that prismatic comment, and they're giving the different pieces for the little Shuttle Bay models. So that means they're giving the currency. If we look in here, I think it gives some ideas. So you can see again, here's a white dot on Kirk for this one, and it would match up with Impulsive. I do not have that unlocked for him, and that's why it's a white dot, but it indicates that. Now, one of the things I wanted to point out here, and this is a good example, like I'm getting with a success, I'm getting 198 of this currency. However, if I got a critical, I'm getting 6,997. 1 million credits, right? It's all right. I'm going to be happy to get my 198 credits because I'm just starting and I don't have any credits. But obviously, it makes a lot of sense if you're going to go for this to try to get that critical. So you're going to really want to boost that more than like a 10 or 20% and really get it, because that's huge. That's just a ridiculous difference. It's not like, oh, another 50, another 100. It is, multiples of the base payout. So that's one. On the form trade agreement I have here, again, I had nobody who had any of the traits unlocked at the time. And this one, the crit is giving a decent amount of Latinum, though. 3,900 Latinum is a lot more than we usually get, but still like 189 of these credits. So we're seeing, at least on those, the crit pay is pretty high. Because if we go to here, on this one, the 10%, like here on the base of a more normal one, we get 8,100 of the rare star charts, but with the crit, we get an additional 4,000, which is half roughly of what we're getting. So there's a big disparity in the payouts on these crit size. So you're going to want to save some of these for these prismatic rainbow ones. It's like, at the end of the rainbow, there's a pot of gold or Latinum or credits. All right, so just kind of showing you some of that, and wanted to point out those pieces in particular. Now let us go and let's see. Where's my store for this? Yes, here. So if you go into your chest, your 10-minute and other chests, collect your stuff. All right, you got your recruits, your gifts, resources. At the very end, after consumables, which we just added this for our axionic chips and all the exocomps, we now have the away teams. So you'll see here's that little model showing the currency that you have or don't have. I don't have any yet till those first ones get done, but you can see we can get rogue reputation, Fed, Klingon, Romulan. And then here we've got Enterprise blueprints, Intrepid. Let's see, just pointing out the D4 is here, as well as the ships below it, like the Burrell. Also, here's the Augur, and then the Gladius and the Valkyrie and things like that. So you can get some of these things. This will give an alternative way instead of just using your faction credits and all that. So that is kind of nice. I don't know if there are additional higher level ones that happen as you hit a different level tier. So if you're up there in the level tiers where you have access to these other ships, because like the Enterprise and the D4 and that level are the highest level that I have available to myself at the moment. If you were higher and have access, do you see those in your store? Please let us know in the comments below. That'll be helpful. And then of course, it's stuff. So like in the Rogue Reputation, for 4,000 of these babies, which we're getting like under 200 without getting our critical. So it's going to take a while. We'll get like 2,750. I mean, 2,750 is an okay chunk. Again, it is 50K on the Federation points for that same 4,000, but I wanted to just kind of show you, like, to get an Enterprise blueprint, it's 3,650, so it's less than what you're getting on the faction side. So it's not like they're priced ridiculous in where they are. And then if we look at like an Intrepid, it's down to 3,000. So, the step up is not that bad, is what it looks like. Now, that doesn't mean that we may find that these are really hard to get, at least in the beginning, before we can really nail those criticals. But the creep on the price isn't so bad, assuming these prices are set in some realistic way, which I'm assuming, and we'll see if this is correct, that Scopely kind of thought out a natural progression for how how available they wanted these things to be. And so we will be waiting on those, but this gives us a way to get stuff. So I'm curious what your thoughts are below. Remember to like and hit that notification bell so you know about the next videos that come up, as well as the live streams. We do 1 or 2 live streams on YouTube, as well as live streams for Star Trek Fleet Command now on Twitch as well. Links to the Discord and the Twitch stream will be down below in addition. And remember, if you want to help out, one, watch the video, share that video with other people, but also give us a thumbs up, like, and add us a comment. Even if you're just saying hi, it's appreciated. It really helps beat that algorithm as we push up on that. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. It's not going to hurt you, and it helps me a lot and helps the channel. So thanks a lot. Let me know what kinds of questions you have and anything else you want to see down below in the comments. I'll talk to you later, and cock-a-doodle-doo.